ikushiya kancinci. Thole nina kumane ndive mane ngandiva. Obona nithi usandiva wena ne?
Ndisakuva son.
Okay, it's fine. All right, so as I said, web development refers to the building of the website and maintaining of the website. And then a building of the website involves UX or UI. So UX is the user experience, and then UI, it's the interface of the website. How is it going to look? And then on the user experience, and then when you click a button, for instance, if you are shopping Shane or whatever site that you use, go press a button, when you press that, when you click that, what's gonna happen next? When you put a text, what's gonna happen? When you select that option, what's gonna happen? Sorry?
Network.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did the recording because I can see abanye abantu abekho. So UX, it's user experience, the experience of a user when using that web page. For instance, let me choose any site. Let me choose this site. This is where Trace School. This is another site for learning. You come to this site to learn. So user experience, it's when I click here and we look, for instance, this thing, the scrolling, it's user experience. When I scroll, I see many options. So this is user experience. This is user experience. So when I click, when I click on elements, there's a text that pops up. That is the text that pops up. So this is user experience. When I press that, you see when I hover there over, it's saying Java tutorial. When I hover there, it's saying PHP tutorial. When I hover there, it's saying how to. So this is user experience. So now when we go to sorry, Tole. Yes, Tole. 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 She's silent. Akuvala ne-mic.
Okanye ulibele uvule imayiki.
Maybe. Okay, let's continue. WhatsApp. So now let's go to user interface. User interface. So when we talk about the user interface, we talk about the fonts, we talk about the fonts, the colors of the web page, the theme of the web page. So that's the user interface. Those colors, the fonts, the representation of the website. So that is UI, which is user interface. And then now we go to front end. Front end, we talked about it on the last week. I think it was last week. Yes, we talked about front end. So when we talk about front end, talk about coding in HTML, building the structure of the web page, coding in CSS, building the layout or presentation of the web page, coding in JavaScript, making the website functional or interactive. So that's the front end. So now going to backend, it's like the brain of the website. It uses language like Python or Java to make the website store information in a database. It also sends right information to the user screen when they visit the website. So it's more like a behind the scene helper. And then we have the server now. A server is like a smart helper that connects the front end and the back end. So when you visit the website, the front end sends a request to the server asking for information. The server talks to back end, gets the needed data from the database, and then sends it back to the front end. So the server is in the middle between the front end and the back end. So if the front end wants to talk with the back end, it has to go to the server. The server is going to send a message to the back end. And then the back end will respond to the server, and then the server will send a message to the front end. So that is the server. So now we have another chapter, another beautiful topic that is called a responsive web design. It's one thing that you have to learn, a responsive web design. There is a course for it here on there is a course for it here on this. The last time I checked, there was a course for it. Let me use this one. So learn. Yes, there was a course for that here. Browse courses. So a responsive web design. Let's hope it's still here. They remove courses. Oh, it's not here anymore. You have to learn a responsive web design because you cannot survive without it. You cannot survive without it because it's the one that helps us to do this. Let me show you the website. This one. So a responsive web design help us to do this thing. You see, look at that. It's shrinking, but the logo is still good, even though it's shrinking. Let me do that. You see, the web page has to fit in all devices. If it's on the tablet, it must fit. If it's on the cell phone, it has to fit. Even if you go percent, never fit, and still maintain the quality of it. If you see this website, you see everything is still here. The information, you can still see the information clearly and nicely. So this is a responsive web design. The website that you make must be responsive. It must fit any type of device. All right, let's continue. All right. All right, then we have a database management system. So if you want to be a full stack, there is a full stack web developer, there is a front end developer, there is a back end developer. So now basically you are a front end developer. Now, once you master Java or Python for the backend, then you can call you a backend developer and also a front end developer. But once you master the database management system, the server, the front end, the back end, then we call you a full stack web developer. An database management system, it's for organizing, retrieving data. It's for storing. Basically, it helps us to search, store, organize data. We want to be able to retrieve data, say manage efficiently all the time. Yeah, so, think of it as a smart assistant that keeps track of all your information, whether it's for a website, an app, or an other system. When you need a specific data, the database management system quickly finds and delivers it to you. It ensures the data is stored securely, remains constant, and can easily accessed or updated by multiple users. So that means I can be able to update the database as a who's why in the lab nearby. And also someone else is learning Michelle Tutuan can be able to access the database as a who some data was a pane Islanda. So that's the database management system. So there are certain things that you need for a database management system. There is a database server. This is where your MySQL database will run. It could be a local machine or a remote server. So this is just a theory because I think I do have MySQL here. I'm not sure. Let me show you the. Oh, there it is. It's been a while since I use it. So this is MySQL. So once I press my password there, which I think I've forgotten it. Once I press my password, then it's gonna show me the database management system. And then you need MySQL software. You need to install MySQL Server software, which manages the databases, which is the one that I just showed you. SQL. So this is the software. MySQL branch is it's installed here on my laptop. And then database client tools like MySQL Workbench, so or command line interface interact with your MySQL. So this is the one that I've just showed you. SQL structured query language. Please take this course as well. It's here. SQL intermediate. This is structured query language. You have to take this course as well. It's very powerful. It's very powerful. So structured query, the language used to communicate with database, to create, to read, to update, and delete data. So if you want to be able to create a database and also read information from database and also update information from that database and also delete data from that database, you need to learn a structured query language. Then we have a database design. So before you create a database, you have to plan how are you going to create a database. You have to plan. It's called database design. There are softwares for it that we use. Security, but it's just you can use the general design tools. Any tools for designing, you can use it. Then security, you have to set up user accounts and permissions to control access to database. Then backup system, this one is very important. The 6 and the 7, security and backup system. You earn a lot of money by doing those two, security and backup system, because it's data. You cannot live without data. Think about it. Sekuthiwa kulahleke i-marks zabantwana e-university. Wow, what a loss. Cannot live without that. So we need security on point, backup system on point all the time. Domain name. This one's very important, guys. It's very important. Let me use this one. Say www.usu.ac.za. You see it when I pressed www.usu.ac.za, straight to this web page, straight to this web page. Now, what I'm looking in front of me, I'm looking at a UI, which is user interface. I'm looking at the UI, user interface. But I search for this website on this is called the address bar. I searched for this website on the address bar. I used what? Its domain name. Each website on the internet is categorized by its domain name. Domain name is an alias for the IP address. Each website on the internet is categorized by each IP address. So let me go back. So this is user interface, what you see, and then when I press that, a drop down appeared. So this is user experience now. Okay, when I hover, look at that. When I hover, I didn't press anything. Hover. There are keywords that I use. When I hover, a drop down appeared. When I hover there, still a drop down appeared. So this is user experience. It's what the user is experiencing whilst it's on the site. But now, look there. Nothing. I'm hovering now. I'm hovering and nothing. Look, when I hover there on the library, the drop down appeared. But when I hover there, nothing showed. But when I press there, a sidebar menu appeared. So a sidebar menu appeared. So this is called the user experience. Yeah, I think they've done a great deal of updating this website. It was hell, but it's nice now. It's very nice. Okay, let's go back to what we've been talking about this thing. Day one. So domain name. When I searched www.usu.ac.za, it sent me straight to that USU web page. So it's been categorized by its domain name. Let's go to my notes. What is the domain name? A domain name is a human readable address used to access the websites on the internet, serving as an alias for the IP address of a server. It is the part of the domain name system. Let's translate domain name into an IP address. It's allowing browsers to locate and retrieve web pages. So we use what? A web browser. So this one, it's Microsoft Edge. So this one, it's Microsoft Edge. This is the web browser. It's the tool that we use to view what? To view the web pages. It's the tool that we use to view the web pages. So let me go back there and explain IP address. Now, so that is the domain name. So an IP address is like a house number for your computer or device on the internet. Just like your house number tells people where you live, an IP address tells other computers where to find your device so that they can send information to it. It's a special number that helps computers and devices to talk to each other. So that means in order for computers to be able to communicate with each other, they need IP addresses on the internet. They can't communicate with each other if they don't have IP addresses. It's more like if I want to send some parcel to your house, I need an IP address. I need an address, physical address, for me to send that person. Just it's like that to the internet. For a computer to be able to communicate with the other computer, it needs what? An IP address. What is an IP address now? An IP address, oh, another thing, there is a course which is in networking on Cisco. It's free that you have to take for networking. It explains these IP addresses and stuff. So it's a unique numerical identifier assigned to each device connected to the network. Even your cell phone, even the device that you are using right now, even the device that you are using right now to connect to, even the device that you are using right now to connect to this meeting. For that device to be able to connect to this meeting, it used my IP address. There was a handshake deal that happened. And then you have two types of IP addresses, IPv6 and IPv4. So IPv4 uses 32-bit addresses. IPv6, which uses 128-bit addresses to accommodate the growing number of devices on the internet. Engineers never sleep. They were using IPv6 and thought like, no, technology is growing at an exponential speed. So let's just create another type of IP address that will accommodate many devices, which is IPv6, because it uses 128-bit addresses to accommodate the growing number of devices in the internet. So it can accommodate billions of devices, billions of devices. IP addresses facilitate the routing of data packets between the source and the destination. So if I want to send data from this device to your device, there is IP address. I use what? IP addresses. So ensuring the data retrieves to the correct point. So that's one of the IP address. They are essential for network management, enabling devices to communicate effectively within the networks and across the internet. So please do that course on Cisco for networking. After that, you do that course is there. It's actually the prerequisite for cybersecurity. So Cisco is Cisco Academy. So now this is the course. This is the course. So this course, Introduction to Networks, it's networking essential. You have to take this one, which is online based. Was instructor led. You have to attend on some venue and stuff, and I don't think it's free. That one. This one is free. Networking essentials, and it's there. Once you master these, there are these CCNA, CCNP enterprise. I'm telling you, you can go and work to overseas once you master these. There's also Comt Plus, and also there's A Plus. You become untouchable when it comes to security, when it comes to networking. There's no system in this world that can defeat you once you have these certificates. CCNA, CCNP. You become advanced. You become untouchable. Once you touch anything, it just breaks. Party phone ye girlfriend yakho kanye boyfriend, it breaks. You can see everything. And then, so we have to take this course, which is networking essentials. And then, uh, at us. So after networking essential, you go straight to fundamentals of, say, cybersecurity. You go and take fundamentals of cybersecurity. Uh, and we go. Yes. So where do you find a domain name to host your web page and host your web page? So once you created creation of website is the first step. Once you've completed creating your website, you still need to people still need to be able to search for that website and find it. So we have to have a domain name. Igama layo, okay, le website on the internet izocategorizwa kanjani kwezinye website. Yabo. So you need what there? You need a domain name. Ayiphelanga apho. So unalo ke ngoigama le website yakho. Kufuneke ihlale kwi-servers sam, ayizuhlala kwikhompyutha yakho, yabo. So you still need a hosting company that is going to host your website. So these are the ones that I prefer to host and also to buy domain from. After host, I prefer this one because it's up Africa. It's owned up Africa. And also when pay 10 gigabytes, that was a Jaws, we live as one for. And pay SIM card and not 10 gigabytes, 100 airtime. Sejaws ngizothi umuntu ayendithathela andifakele back yalapha eMzantsi yona. But it's complicated to have a host for beginners. Akekho user friendly ncam. Yeah. And then there's GoDaddy. Oh, this one is very, very user friendly and it's popular. It's common, it's famous. So if you have a problem, you can go to YouTube and then it's gonna be easy for you to solve any problem that you can come across with the GoDaddy. And it's cheaper. GoDaddy is cheaper. Then now, where do you host your web page? It's the same thing. You can after host, you can buy a domain and also you can host. Even now, GoDaddy, you can buy a domain and also you can host. There are these ones which are free now. You pay there, and after host you pay on GoDaddy. You pay. Then where do you host your web page? On Netlify, you host it for free. GitHub, you host it for free. Yes. Then paid. After host no GoDaddy but paid. Then now on your laptop, you need these tools to be able to create your web page. These ones are the ones that I use. There are many tools that you need to use as a web developer, but these ones that I wrote are my tools that I use. Get a version control tool. It's going to allow us to keep track of the changes that we make on the code. Synchronize a code between different people. So that means if Barney is creating a web page, and also decide that no, Maslameo, please help me with this code. You're gonna be able to see the changes that I make on that code of yours whilst I'm here at Gqeberha while you are in Tata. You can able to see the change that I've made to your code whilst I'm here. I can remotely work on your code and you can remotely work on your code. You can both work on the same code, on the same file, same code, same file, same code. I'm not gonna, you are not going to send me a code and then edit, and then send it to you. We work on it. It's on the same file remotely. The changes that we make, you can map out the changes. But okay, Marshall did that, I did that, and then we did that, we did that, we did that, we did that, we did that. And then you commit the changes. Then Spanner GitHub act as a storage for our projects. So GitHub is the account that been the 10 years. This is the account. This is the account. Let me go to my account. Oh. Again. Yes. So this is the GitHub account. So this is the project that I was working on. So when you go to settings there, to pages, you can be able to visit your site. So this was a poster that I was creating. You can be able to create posters, a web page poster. So this one, it's a web page. It's a poster, but it's a web page. You see, you can be able to create a poster that is a website. When someone scans a QR code, it's going to direct him to your site, which is a poster. So this was, yeah. And also there is a register button. You can press register, and then there's a Google form. You fill the Google form, and then you send the details, and then so these are the advantages of becoming a developer. And then yeah, okay, so this is GitHub. Okay, let's proceed. Yeah, now let's go to the coding part. So intro to HTML. So what is HTML? HTML is the language used to create web pages. It consists of a series of elements that you use to enclose or wrap different parts of the content to make it appear or act in a certain way. So we just want to control what people see on the browser. But we'll do it in a few seconds. So this is Visual Studio Code. Some people call it IDE, Integrated Development Environment, which is where you are going to write your code. So that this is where you are going to write a code for your website. There are others, but I prefer Visual Studio Code. So this is the code. It has a doc type, HTML. So line number 1, that's document type. So it's HTML. So you just identify that the type of document, it's HTML. So on first line there. So the name of this file is called index. And then it has HTML as the extension. So if file yako that you are creating, it must have this extension .html. So okay. So now singena to the most important part, which is the coding part. The coding part. So this is the file. This is the HTML file. It's identified by this extension, which is .html. So on line number 1, I have doc type HTML. And then on line number 2, I have HTML. So now on line number 2, there is an HTML tag, which is an opening tag. This is a closing tag. And also I have a header. It's closed there. A header, it's closed there on line number 5. I have an opening tag, I have a closing tag. So whenever you open, you have to close in HTML. You open on line number 6, you close on line number 11. So these are the sections of a web page. They're all wrapped around this tag, which is HTML tag. You see this tag, it's closed on line number 12. Or HTML tag, it's closed on line number 12. We have the head tag. So this is another section of the web page, and the body. The body, it's what you see on the web browser. There is a heading. It's the information about the web page. Anything that is on the head section is the information about the web page. But anything that is on the body section, it's what you see on the web browser. I'll show you in a few seconds. And now this web page, a sample web page, it has a title. This is where you write the title of your web page. And then this is the heading element. This is the heading. The element, the HTML element, is anything from the first tag to the closing tag. That is called an HTML element. This one is called a tag, which is an open tag, a closing tag. And then now that website now, it shows us this. This is how it's showing on the web browser. This is heading. This is paragraph. You have started coding your website now. This is heading. This is paragraph. See, heading, the size of the text is much bigger than the paragraph. It's always like that because this one, it's a heading. A title, it's going to appear there. Title of the web page, it always appear there. It always appear there. So this is the website, a simple website. So let's break down the sections. The document type declaration. So the one that I showed you, which is this one. So document type declaration, this declaration is not HTML tag. So that's not an HTML tag. It is an instruction of the web browser about what version of the HTML page is written in. Doc type HTML is the latest standard known as HTML5. So that means I'll be teaching you the latest version, which is HTML5 of HTML. And then we have the HTML element. And this one, from, let me just open, let's create open folder. Videos, web development, which one is that one? I'll open another one. Let me just get inside here and create a folder. Just say a repair web page. So let me create a file, index.html. So that is my extension, index.html. And then I have what doc type HTML. After doc type, you have your HTML tag, HTML. Then you have your language, you have your EN as English. So if you can see, I have this element. This is called an HTML element. This is called an HTML element. Anything from the opening tag to the closing tag is called an HTML element. And then inside, look at that. That is called an attribute. Whenever you see something like this, lang is equal to, then we're gonna inverted as a quotes, then that is called an attribute. It describes the language of this web page of yours. It's in English. It's in English. That's the language of this web page that we are going to create. It's in English. So this is called an HTML element. So let's hear from them. What are they saying? So this declaration, okay, this lab. The HTML element is the root element of the web page. It wraps all the content on the entire page, and it's sometimes referred to as the HTML document itself. So all your elements are going to be wrapped around this HTML element. All your elements will be wrapped around this element, which is called HTML element. So now I'm going to add another element called a head element. So on this element, it's whereby there is title. This element now, the head section, let me not put anything. This element now contains the information about this entire page of yours, or about this entire website of yours. This page contains information about this website or this web page of yours. Let's see, what are they saying? The HTML element, the head element contains the meta information about the document, such as title, links to style sheets, and other information that isn't displayed directly on the web page. So that means now, whatever that is not here, it's on the head section. Just like that one, that is the title of my web page, tutoring poster. So this was just a sample web page, a poster web page. So that is the title of this web page, tutoring poster. It's not here, so it's on the head section. It's on the head section. Now let's go to the body element. Then now the body now, it's the element that help us to view all this. all this thing from that border, which is blue violet, from that folder, everything that is here, it's on the border section. So now when you look at websites, it's not going to be the same as someone who's not a web developer. So when you look at a website, you look at it as in web development perspective. You know that, okay, this is in the head section. This is in the body section. Uh, all right. So we have your body, you have your head. So now these are called, but we'll explain those on JavaScript. Let's pause on that. So now we have your body, you have your head. So you can put your title there. And say cell phone repair site. You can put your title there, cell phone repair site. So that is the title of your web page, and it's going to appear there, not here, there. And then now you can also add here. So let's put let's use this one. Let me use that one. Heading. With the, now let me just say heading for now. And then I put my paragraph. This is paragraph tag, and let me just say element, heading element, there. Okay, let's go there. So where did I save that one? To tutor, where did I save that one? Night for feeders, web development, tutor. It's not there. Go and see here. Repair web page. It's called the repair web page. So where is it? No, it's not there. Here. Repair web page. Can't see it there. Repair web page. By location. And a particular folder to the tutor. So this is my folder that is containing my HTML document. So when I click on it, it simply shows this cell phone site. Then heading, this is paragraph element. This is paragraph element. So now this heading, let me heading just heading with smallest font. So now this is the heading with the smallest font. Look at this font, it's very small. Now let's change it to h heading, and then let me put h4. You start from h6 up until h1. So h6 is the smallest, and then h1 is the biggest. So let me update my site. You see now, heading. It's much bigger than the first one. Let's put h1, h1, h1. Remember, h1 is much bigger. So that is the heading. So cell phone repair site. You see, the title there changes to cell phone repair site. It's where it's on the head section. Everything on the head section is the information about the site. Everything on the body section, it's everything that will show here on the web browser. Everything that will show here on the web browser. Now let's look at this. Yes. Let's go back to here, the document. Oh, title element sets the title of the HTML document, which appears on the browser's title bar or tab. So that is tab, obviously. The body element contains the content of the HTML document that is displayed in the web browser. It typically includes headings, paragraphs, images, links, tables, forms, and more. So that's the body element. So let's look at these elements carefully. So inside the HTML, this is the HTML element. It starts here. See this solid line? It starts here and ends here. This is the opening tag. This is the closing tag because it has that /. And now this one. So that means now we have this one and this one inside of the HTML element. So that means now these are child elements and HTML is what? Is the parent element. Because body and head are inside the HTML element. So these are children because they are inside HTML element. And head, no body, are inside HTML element. And then now we have again title as the child of head element. And we have h1 as the child of body element. So we'll be able to map up this carefully when we are in JavaScript. I'll show you how to create a document object model, which is called a DOM. We will be able to see which element is the child of the other one, which one is the parent of the other one. So body is the child of the HTML element. Head is the child of the HTML element. HTML is the parent, the root. It's the first one. It's the first element that you create. And the rest of the elements will be inside the HTML element. So far, is it good? Is it exciting? Is it interesting, Bonnie? Things and selling
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it is good, Shem. It is very good. And uyacacisa bra, like zawuthini na? Ucacisa kakuhle, ucacisa kamnandi to an extent that I don't think if ever you're someone who grabs information, xa usaqala uyiva, like I am that kind of a person. If ever
Mm,
into ndive kakuhle ndisaqala uyiva, I don't need to revisit it. I just
yeah.
master it, uyabo. So ngohlobo
Mm,
ocacisa ngalo, you are giving me that thing, yabo. But okay, no. So ndisendiyayazi uba okay, whenever I'm using HTML, I have to
mm,
firstly open HTML element before I write anything, uyabo. Sen-
yeah.
yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, you need to download the Visual Studio Code wakho laptop yakho. This thing, Visual Studio Code. Aiwa.
Uthi ngubani ke?
Visual Studio Code. It's this one. Visual Studio Code. Nanku.
Oh, okay. All
Aiwa.
right.
This
Good.
is the editor that you use to write a code, is it? Aiwa. So you just
Okay.
go on the web and search how. Just go to YouTube and search how to download the Visual Studio Code for web development. Then you'll see a short video there, and then it's gonna lead you on how to create a Visual Studio, how to download the Visual Studio Code.
Okay.
And then once you created the Visual Studio Code, uzovuleka, then you have to install some Upper extensions. For instance, a live server. Let me check live server. So live server installing. So these are extensions. So that means now I cannot go. For instance, if I want to run now this repair page, I have to click on this document. Yeah. But if I have live server, there will be a button that will just redirect me to this page. So yeah, Visual Studio Code is good. Let me see one thing. I think it's installed. Yeah, well, look at that button there. Go live. So let me do this first. Let me close that browser, close that one, and leave that one only. And then I press that one, go live. Neighbor, is a global
Mm.
page.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And I won.
Yeah. So I always prefer to code using Visual Studio Code. I can code in Java, code in Python, you can code in any programming language about Visual Studio Code. So I don't need to download the IDs as different. So that's why I always prefer Visual Studio Code. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So let me close these extensions and close them. Yeah. So that's your heading. So there are many elements. So like I said, it tags. You have to use this one for studying the concept. For instance, if you want to study elements, you have to come to this page, which is a waitress school. It teaches you about the concepts. It explains the concept. Like the HTML element is the root element and it defines the whole HTML document. The body element defines the document's body. It has a start tag and the end tag. H1 element defines the heading. Yes. So P element defines the paragraph. So now that means you can be able now to create a bicycle page with your title. So you can just say computer repair title and cell phone repair services, and then you close that port, then you open it again. There you go. Cell phone repair, computer repair and cell phone repair service. So I decide to add image there. So you can also add an image. There is an image tag. So if you want to add your image, you put it like this. Image has a source and it has an alternative. So on an image, if you want to display image, for instance, you can just take it first. You can go to your PC and pick out image. Just take any image. Let me take this one, copy and put it there. Is the tutor. Then you put it in the folder of your web page. This is the folder of my web page, which is repair web page. That is the folder that is containing my web page. So there, the Fagendon la picture, which is iTech Digital. So now if I want to display that image on my website, I'll just look there. That is it. So iTech Digital. So just on the source, I'll just put iTech. I'll put itechdigital.jpg. So that is the name of that image. Alternative, dizotsho uba okay yeyiphi le picture ivela. So alternative is for cases whereby image yakho ingaveli. So funeka uvele i-text, yabo, ilogo. Ndiyachaza uba le image ingafuni ukuvela yintoni, ilogo, yabo. So let me, yabo, computer and repair services. But logo yam now ivele ibe nkulu. How can I decrease width and height? You can use you can say style, and then on the style you put your width to, let's start with 40 pixels, and then height yakho bengu 40 pixels. For the style, so sine width yethu engu 40 pixels, sine height yethu engubani, and 40 pixels. So let's try. You see now it's much smaller now. It's much smaller now. You can float your picture to the left or to the right. You can put it wherever you want to put it. So you can just say float. Float. So this is a style. So you can just say float. Then you can just say right. So I'm floating my image to the right. So I want this logo, you see, it's there on the right. So you can control everything that is happening here. And also you can do this on the body tag. You can put a style there, and then a background. You can just say a background color yako, maybe gray. So you are controlling the background of your Sebang gray. So you see it's gray. Now this text, you can control the colors of those texts. This paragraph element, computer repair, so you can make those colors to be any color of our choice. So that is H1, computer repair and cell phone repair. So I can want that to be, let me just put, you always put style first, and then you say color yako. It can be blue, violet. Let's try this first. Then and see, oh, it doesn't match. It doesn't match well, so we can choose white. White. See, yeah, now our colors is shown, and you can change that color as well to be white for a paragraph. So you can just go there and put style, then you put color there to be white. Yes. So you're able to change your background, your text. You're able to float your image around from left to right. So let's float it back to left. The image float left, float left. See, it's left. And then the text, and also this is paragraph element. So you can put another H there, let's say H3, and say we offer the following services. We offer the following services. So I put the list now. Control C. I copy that and paste the services that we offer. To offer the following services, let's say you offer computer repair, cell phone repair, and then we also offer a password removal. Let's say phone unlock. And then we change that to igama lekhampani. You say this is iTech digital, and PTY Ltd. And then you see your website is like that. Computer repair, cell phone repair, phone unlock. There on the heading, that's the biggest heading for this entire web page. It's H1. It has the smallest number, but the heading gets bigger as the number of the heading goes down. The heading becomes larger. So as the number increases, the heading gets smaller. So that is how the heading goes. And then okay, what else? The basics, just a few things. We offer the following services. So let's do this with. So we have this element which is called break. So we have this one. This one does not have a closing tag like this, or break like that. Did I do there? Yeah. Or break does not have this one, the closing one. Does not have that one, the closing one. It only has the opening tag. So break is actually going to break this text and make it appear below. So let's do that. Okay, let's break it again. It's not below enough. We can break it again. Yes. Now it looks much better. So you can even change color for this one. Let's change the color. You put to style first, style, and then inside your attribute you put color, then you put that and say you put your color, whatever color you choose. So we offer the following services. So this is how this will look. So let me change this background to white. So let me just change color first to blue, violet, then change the background to white, and then the colors can make that purple. Then those colors, obviously, look to they must be gray. The services, gray is background color, the body. Yeah. Yeah. So this is how you lay out everything. This is the functionalities of HTML. This is done by HTML. Let's hope uyayibona uba ihamba kanjani. Nayibona poni ne?
Ndiyayibona but
Yes. Yeah. You are able to change the text for this error, but you are not using any software. These are just instructions. These are just instructions. They were aimed. We started writing, but see the magic of coding. You just type and then this starts to show up. Never. So you just instruct and then this shows up. You have your heading You have your image, you have your heading again, you have the list of the services. Yes. So next time we meet will be just coding. We'll be coding. I'll be teaching and coding. Just this was just an introduction. It just was the first day, lesson one. This was lesson one, where I was just showing you on how to create a first HTML file. So the first thing you do, you open your HTML, you open this thing, which was do the code, your environment for writing a code, and then you create a file, and then you name it index, and then it must have a .html as what? As an extension. You see? .html. It must have this extension .html. And then after that, you create, you specify that which version of HTML is this one. So it's HTML5. You put doc type HTML. There's that extra exclamation mark, doc type HTML. You specify the version of this document. And after that, you create the root element, which is HTML. All the elements that will follow are inside the root element, which is HTML. And it has an attribute, which is English. This document, we want to be in English. We want to be English. After we have created the root element, it always have the opening tag and the closing tag. After you have opened this root element, you create now two child elements. The one that has information about the web page and the page itself. This one. This element, which is body element. It has everything that will appear on the web page. This one has everything about the web page. It has information about the web page. But this one has everything that will appear on the web page. So now again, inside head, you can place your title there, which is cell phone repair site. And then you can have now your body element. You can style the background of, yes, you can style the background of your web page in that way. And other thing, you can style your heading. This is the heading element. This is the heading element. An element is anything from the opening tag to the closing tag. That's the element. So this one is called an an heading element. That one is a head element. This one is the heading element. That one is the head in logo. This one is the heading. The heading. And then after that, you can put your image and you can put the alternative. What if now I misspell this? What's going to happen? See, image does not show because it does not recognize this one. I take digital, so it has to be exactly like that. So I placed this guy so that azondithethela uba apha bekusuppose bakuvela ntoni ilogo, but there's something wrong that is happening. Let's say that the image is not found or there's something wrong with the code. So this will happen. So that is alternative. Say alt is equal to, and then you put the text. So I fix that. I take digital. Now the image appears again because the spelling is correct now. So your coding it's sensitive. You have to put a spelling must be exactly as this one. You can just the weight of your image you can control it. You can just put style, and then inside those inverted commas you put width, then you put those, and then you put the 40 pixel, and then you close, you separate your styles with these. Use that statement terminator. This is called statement terminator. That means this statement ends there. That's the statement. First statement, you're controlling your width. That's the second statement, you're controlling your height. That's the third statement, you're controlling your floating of your image. But it has to be the right, it has to be the center, it has to be on the it has to be on the right, center, whatever. We just float it around. You can also, on the style here, you can also put another thing, it is text align, and then you say center. Then everything inside this element, which is body, will be aligned at the center. You see, I take digital. Offer we offer the following services. So now let me remove this floating point and see what is going to happen. You see, the image goes back to the default position. I take digital PTO Ltd. We offer the following services. So let me end here today. Let's see, where's the document ending for day one? Uh, yeah. So it's basically everything that I've just did. Yes. So let's end here. Next time we meet, we code. I teach we code, and also you have to just use that platform that I gave you for a concept, so that we can focus more on coding rather than explaining the concept. Hey, boy. So until next time. Sakhona Pona.
Ndisekhona. Sizophinde sidibane nini ngoku? Okanye
Uh,
uzocommunicate ixesha apha egrupini?
yeah, I'll communicate the clash. I have fixed once now. I think the Akubala look to that. I think we can meet 3 times a week. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, inkosi ke.
Yeah. So next time we meet, we'll funeka nibe seniyijongile laa platform so that ii-concepts nibe familiar nazo xa ndithetha ngazo, yayibo.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Hayi, andihambe ndiyopheka ndilambile, bra.
Alright, kube nobusuku obuhle, enkosi.
Thank you, same to you.